Do you like love? Are you a night owl? Then Late Night Love is a place for you. Since life is negative enough, here we discuss everything love. What we love, who we love, and why we love. So join us on Saturday nights at 11:30 p.m. Pacific Time, and please remember, love everybody. All right, and welcome back to Late Night Love. I am your host, James. Just over there at the director's chair, we've got the Lubbynator.
Good evening.
And she actually has her own microphone tonight, so that's an improvement. We're slowly learning what the hell we're doing over here. Tonight we've got a couple topics lined up. Should we love social media so much? And why I think the answer is yes. And so we're going to talk about that. And then we've got a list of relationship quizzes.
Compatibility questions. It's a compatibility quiz.
All right. Me and the Lubbynator are going to take a compatibility quiz. A compatibility quiz. That's Just had a Freudian slipper. What on that one? So we're going to got the compatibility quiz, which should be fun, at least for one of us over here.
Yay.
And of course, we've got the love line working. If someone should want to call in and have a question about love or want to talk about a lovely topic, we will happily have a gander. So to start, I was listening to, God, who was it? Tim Pool, maybe? I don't know. I guess it was Tim Pool. But it could have been somebody else who sounds like him because I wasn't actually paying that close of attention to what was on. I was working on one screen and YouTube was playing on the other. And so they were talking about the role social media is playing in the modern, shall we say, civil unrest, and how social media is responsible for all of us being angry at each other all the time. And I think that's a cop-out. I think it's just more of what is actually the cause of the problem as blame shifting. Rather than focus inwards and find out what our problem is, we look for a simplistic external solution. Instead of going, okay, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to improve on myself? We say, it's just social media's fault. I don't have to take responsibility. I think it's just blame shifting. Because here's the thing. If you understand social media and the way the algorithms work, you can't blame social media for the environment it creates for you. Because you create it. The social media algorithms are quite literally designed to feed you more of what you see. That's what they do. So if you are looking for something, if you are looking for negativity, social media will feed you more of it. If you are looking for positivity, social media will feed you more of it. If you're looking for beach vacations, social media will feed you more of it. It doesn't matter what you're looking for, social media feeds you more of it. The key there is it feeds you what you want. It feeds you what you're looking for. Algorithms aren't responsible for what you click on. They're not responsible for what you search for. It's not responsible for where you spend your time. You are. So if you love yourself, and you love your communities, look for more love on social media. And that's what you will get. So the point of that is, if all you see is negativity on social media, then that's what you've been asking for. That's what you click on, that's what you search for, and that's where you spend your time. Social media is not designed to give you things you don't pay attention to. It will occasionally throw things that you don't pay attention to your way to see how you respond to it. But if you don't click on it, If you don't click on the fluffy kitty story, it's not going to feed you fluffy kitty stories. If you don't click on the positive human interest stories, it's not going to feed you positive human interest stories. If you don't click on local news, it's not going to feed you local news. If you want to know more about what goes on in your government, local government, you click on things that are happening in your local government. And you will start seeing more and more of that. That's how the algorithms work. So here's a secret. If you're down and you're feeling in the dump and you just need to have some positivity kind of continually thrown your way, here's what you do. You go to your favorite search engine, or two. It actually works better if you use two. So go to Google and go to Bing and search Caribbean vacation and beachfront vacation and that kind of thing, right? So do a couple minutes searching there. Then go to a couple different travel sites and just search for, trips to Jamaica. Just kind of click around for a couple minutes, click on buttons, and on trips to Jamaica. And here's what will happen. For the next week, all the ads on your social media site will be for trips to Jamaica. And then you get to be seeing some nice beachfront vacations. That's the trick. It gives you what you want. It feeds you what you ask it to feed you. And so, if you were like me and have been clicking on and looking on a bunch of stories that have negative emotions attached to them, you can end up in a spiral of negative emotions because you're not clicking on the things that are positive. And I know in this modern world, things that are positive are difficult to find, except they're not. You can look across the table often and find the one you love. And how much more positive can you get than that? So, on that sappy note, setting up this contentious, combative relationship quiz.
Do I get to start asking them now?
Do you want to ask them or do you want me to ask them?
No. They're ready. Here we go.
Oh, God, I'm in so much trouble.
Okay, we'll start out with an easy one. What is the ideal number of calls a couple should exchange in a day? Let's take turns answering first.
Okay, wait a minute. First, we have to ask, what do you define couple? Is it someone who lives 20 minutes apart or people who live in the same house?
Well, let's just say us. This is a compatibility test.
For us right now. Well, none. We're almost never apart, except when someone's sleeping.
Well, when we need to, we text. Now, that's not true. When I go on vacations, at night, I text you when I wake up.
Yeah, but it's not. But we don't have. But see, we cannot judge other people judged by our relationship. It is not fair because we are weird. Which is why I'm asking the question this way, because we are very
when we first got together, you always made sure to tell me good morning and good night.
Yeah. So during the dating period, you should probably talk to each other at least once a day.
At least once
if it's a courtship period, not necessarily dating period.
Yeah.
During the courtship period, you should probably at least talk to at least once a day, maybe twice. Now, once you become a established couple, you will fall into your own rhythm, and there's no correct answer. The answer is what's correct for you or for your relationship. Some people need to talk to each other more than once a day. Other people don't. Right? It is what it is. We can go a couple days when you're with your daughter up and
without actually talking.
Yeah, or it's just, hey, how you doing? You just try to check in, make sure the other person's alive. And it's
no, we don't do phone calls when I'm up in Oregon. We text.
Yeah, And if we need to talk
Unless
about
if
something,
there's something you need to, unless
Yeah, well,
there's something we need to talk about.
which is kind of what I do. That we've kind of fallen into my habit on that one. But we can only do that because we trust each other. That if there's anything needs to be talked about, we talk about it.
Of course.
And so again, it goes back to it's such an individualized. For us, the answer is it depends. For most people, the answer is it depends. But in the courtship period.
In the courtship period,
you're probably talking once or twice a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're a serious courtship period. But again, even then, it depends on the person. Some people might be overly needy, and you should probably maybe every other day, 2 days out of 3, because you don't want to set a bad long-term habit. But that again is so individualized. But so, everything's with an asterisk when it comes to love.
Everything with an asterisk.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's an interesting one. Would you compromise your happiness for the success of the relationship? I feel that's a really loaded. I would compromise my happiness for a short period of time, but I mean not.
Well, it depends.
But long term, is that going to work? Would that work?
Well, it depends fundamentally what your individual goal is. If your individual goal is to have a happy relationship, then you're not actually sacrificing your happiness. You're choosing one type of happiness over another. That's a different question. Are you willing to choose, say, career happiness over family happiness? I'll do that any day of the week. Right. No, I mean family happiness over career happiness. I said that backwards, but you know what I mean.
Right.
But other people will choose the other way around. And so, right, other people have to. A type A personality has to choose career. It happens every day. We see it. You don't have a choice. And so the other partner has to. So for us, it's which type of happiness are we talking about? Yes, I sacrifice my theoretical most happy for the good of the relationship because I know long term that will make me most happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's delayed gratification, maybe, but not really, because it's not actually delayed. Because it's trying to make the relationship happy is what makes me happy.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the journey. It's not the goal, destination. Oh, kind of Zen kind of crap. Yeah. Sorry.
So here's a tough one. And I'm asking your idea. What is your idea?
We do have a podcast we're doing, right, man? So
of a romantic vacation.
My idea of a romantic vacation.
I know what my idea is.
I don't have an idea of a romantic vacation.
I do. A cruise. Come on.
What the hell is romantic about a cruise?
Midnight buffets.
It's just like prison on the water.
Walks on the promenade. Sitting out there reading.
You can go exercise in the courtyard. It's prison on the water. That's all a cruise is.
Go watch a show.
And the food isn't even better than prison food.
This isn't going to happen, is
it? The chance of me locking myself in onto a cruise, no. Which is funny, though. If you want to take a vacation to the moon, you could put me in a rocket and I go to the moon, but get me on a boat and I wouldn't. But no, a trip to the moon was not a romantic vacation. I think it'd just be cool. I don't know. I don't think of romantic vacations. It's not my thing. No, I can think of a vacation I would like to do.
There we go.
Just kind of me in a trailer and just kind of take Route 66.
That's romantic.
I don't know if it's romantic, but it's a nice vacation.
Yeah. Okay, I got a really tough one.
Yeah.
This is prickly.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
That's specialty.
I don't know if this qualifies here.
Oh, maybe I should read it first.
Yeah. What would you define as cheating?
What would I define as cheating?
Mm-hmm.
Can I define the fifth?
Can you define the fifth? I think, isn't this, again, doesn't it involve the couple? I mean, because different people have different sensibilities.
Well, it is a modern world. right? And so if you have a modern relationship, there is very different solutions to there are very different answers to that question. If you are a traditional couple, that's actually an easy question to answer. It's a physical, right? It's the physical cheating.
It's the physical
But
cheating.
what level does emotional cheating come in?
Mm-hmm.
If you're turning to comfort for emotional comfort to someone other than your spouse, is that cheating?
Oh, geez.
Now, maybe there's reasons for it. Maybe there's the cancer or something, and you can't turn to your spouse, and so there's exceptions to that. But that's what I mean. Is it? I don't know. It's an open question. And what time? Maybe there's a point where it is, and there's a point where it's not. And when does that line get crossed? It's
Right.
we need Dr. Ruth for that one.
Really. Okay, we are not professionals here.
I'm not a trained psychiatrist,
Just yeah.
but I don't think it's actually a spot for a trained psychiatrist. That one's a spot for a trained couples therapist to get through their issues and figure out exactly what each person wants out of their relationship. So some people can be perfectly happy in open relationships, or not. It's the couple has to have the same perspective and view on life, and they have to grow together, because you can start with the same perspective and view and 10 years later have grown to someplace else. And if you've grown differently, what used to work wasn't, and the relationship may no longer work, or it could grow stronger, right? Anybody can watch and see both happens. Now, most often the times in that kind of thing, you grow separately because it's very difficult, and half the marriages end in divorce anyway, and even more than half end in unhappiness, whether they're divorced or not. So it's not an easy thing.
No.
But the thing is, we actually have a much higher standard for marriage today than we did in the past, which is, I think, something we don't actually acknowledge.
How so?
Well, in the times past, um, love in a marriage was secondary, a luxury. It was, can your partner help keep the home alive? Can it help keep you fed? Can it help keep your your bloodline alive? Can it help your family? Love, shit. Even amongst the average person, it wasn't about love. It was, can I live with this person, and can we help each other not die? That's the way most marriages work. We have this bizarre view on what happens in marriages of the past. We look back and we see, the arranged marriages of the aristocrats, and we think that's how marriages work. But we've talked about this before, right? We've talked about that marriages really were, you would find someone you could stand and you could work with, and you told the community you were married and you were lived together, and that was it. That's all you had to do to get married. And when you wanted to get divorced, you just, screw you, I'm going to live with my mother, right? That's how it worked back then. You didn't need to have marriage licenses and approval from the thing. You just started to live together and lived in being married and told somebody. That was quite literally the common law marriage. And we've now, because the middle class essentially wanted to act like the aristocrat, when we developed the middle class, they wanted to copy some things of the upper class. And marriage, the ceremony, was one of those things. It's a nice thing, right? It's a nice emotional day when you have the luxury of doing it for love. It's a nice emotional day. And now it's grown into its own cottage industry that just sucks the freaking lifeblood out of young couples. The whole marriage industry, destination weddings, which is all great if you're both working tech in San Francisco and are making $200K a year plus stock options. But we've set these things up for these poor kids who are clerks at Winco or whatever, and they try to have these kind of big weddings, and it just doesn't work. They end up in debt, buying diamonds that you shouldn't be buying. You know? Yeah, but we're not young. We're not trying to start out. And we didn't spend a lot of money.
It flashed my brain. This was 75% off.
Yeah, but what we don't say is they're marked up 75%. So you're actually getting it about what it should sell. That's the rub. That's the problem with the whole diamond industry. It's a phony marketplace. It's the only reason they can sell them for 75% off is because they're marked up. But but people are willing to buy it. So how much can you complain? It's their money. I just wish they'd save that 10 grand and spend it somewhere else, or not spend it. Start life off a little. But that's only because I screwed up when I was young, and so I don't like seeing other people start off being dumber than I was. I was stupid. So, okay, what's next? Before we get all morose.
I love this one.
Oh, God.
I can't wait. Would you ever say sorry to me even if it's not your fault?
Oh, I do all the time. Well, I don't know if all the time matters, but yeah. Because it's not about fault. Unless you've actually done something. It's necessarily about fault, right? The life isn't always about blame. It's, I'm sorry there was a misunderstanding.
I'm sorry there's yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't, I'm sorry circumstances didn't match up and whatever. It's not necessarily my fault. It's just, hey. What is it? We were watching Red Green on his thing about sorry the other day. If you ever guys want to find something interesting, Google the wisdom of Red Green. And those are good ones. He's got good ones in there. He's got this thing about sorry. It says a marriage that, what did he say? A marriage that doesn't say you're sorry is a marriage where all you are is sorry, or something like that. Yeah, I know that's not what you wanted to hear. Sorry. Yeah, a good marriage is built on the word sorry, right? That's essentially what was his comment was. A good marriage, a good relationship is built on the ability to say you're sorry and the ability to apologize. What is he says? He said his wife Bernice was sorry she bought him that ugly ass sweater that she bought for Christmas that he was never going to wear, and then he was sorry for using it for cleaning up the oil spill. See, it was. Yeah, you have to say you're sorry, even if it's not necessarily your fault, because otherwise you get stuck. Sorry's like a band-aid so the wound can heal, and when you come back to it, oh hey, look, there's no more wounds. Sweet.
Good analogy. Are you friends with any of your exes?
Well, luckily I don't have that many exes, but I'm friendly with everybody. Now, whether it's a good idea to be friends with your exes is another question. Sometimes you can't. And it's not even necessarily about whether one or both of you are toxic. It's just because for whatever reason there's too many emotional strings, and it's not good emotionally. Sometimes the person is toxic and you shouldn't have any time with them. But, it's, sometimes it's just, you don't want your head to have to keep going there. Right. But again, it's so much of this is such a personal, such of the people involved, and whether you can get past all the pain you cause for each other, because no one can hurt you like the people who love you the most, right? And most relationships ends because somebody felt betrayed on some level, even if it's not cheating or whatever. There's some kind of emotional betrayal, or you weren't who you thought they were, or whatever it is. So it's a tough thing. Now, I don't think it's probably a good idea to go bowling with him every Tuesday. It's probably not a great idea. Just saying. But You can always be friendly with people if it's possible.
Do you think celebrating Valentine's Day is corny?
I think celebrating Valentine's Day is purely commercial at this stage. I don't know about corny. I mean, I suppose it is, but it's commercial. No one's celebrating the actual Valentine's Day anymore. They're buying chocolates and going to dinner. It's not the same thing. It's essentially virtue signaling love now. You can't virtue signal love on a day. Love comes every day. If you have to express your love on Valentine's Day, you're doing something wrong. Now, doesn't mean you can't do something nice on Valentine's Day because it's nice, but if you can't miss a Valentine's Day and still feel fulfilled, right? If you miss a Valentine's Day and don't feel fulfilled, then you've got bigger problems. Valentine's Day shouldn't be that big of a thing in your relationship. You should be able to celebrate it 2 days before or 2 days after or whatever that, and still have it mean the same thing. This is essentially what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay.
The day itself shouldn't be the focus.
True. Okay, here's a loaded question.
Uh-oh.
Can you avoid flirting with someone attractive? If someone attractive flirts with you when I'm not around?
I don't even know when people are flirting with me, so that's an easy one to avoid. I have to be told when people are flirting with me.
You're just oblivious.
How I'm doing one person running a love thing, I don't understand, because apparently I have no freaking clue when people are flirting with me.
She was playing with her hair and leaning into your face to talk to you.
I don't know what that means. You're like speaking French or something. I just don't understand what that's supposed to mean. I really don't. It's amazing I've had children. It's really.
You need a sign.
You need a sign. Apparently, some of them know how to hold up a sign. So
yeah,
those who are smart enough to figure out how to hold up a sign catch me, I guess. I get the smart one.
Oh, here's a good one. If I told you to jump off a tall cliff and tell you that you'll land safely because there's a net you can't see yet, would you blindly trust me and jump? I'm sorry, darling, but I would not.
Fuck no. How stupid do I look? I know I'm worth more dead than alive. I ain't jumping off no goddamn cliff.
What?
What? Now I'm in trouble. Like I said, this is a combative quiz.
Do you have to know all my friends?
Oh, God, hope not.
I have great friends.
I'm sure you do.
I don't feel the need to know all your friends.
I don't have that many. And they're all political friends at this point.
But I mean,
yeah.
Other than say, how are you? How you guys have a good time? How you doing?
Well, most of my friends actually, sadly enough, are on the internet these days because of the way my life has worked. You spend as a homebody for a number of years, unable to leave the house. You end up having all your friends being remote.
Yes.
And I got a few friends, but they're all mostly political now. So, it's how friendly are your political friends? A few of them are friends. I'd say past political friends, but political friends are political friends.
Yes, they are.
But we gotta, we love Brandon like a son, even though he's about that age too. He's young enough to be
Is
a
he?
son. Yeah, he just graduated college.
I just think he's just a wonderful young man. I just enjoy working with him so much.
Yeah. So there's yeah. So anyway,
You ready for the next question?
yeah.
Do you think past relationship secrets should always be kept hidden? My secrets from my past relationship are none of your business.
You don't have a right to tell other people's stories. Now, there's a caveat. You do have a right to tell yours. And so sometimes that rights infringe on each other. And you have to be very careful how and who you tell them to. But for the most part, unless there is an actual genuine reason to,
Well, if there would be a genuine reason, of course I would.
Yeah, but because there might be some trauma related to something, some PTSD trauma.
Exactly.
And you have to tell the story.
That's what I was thinking about.
And there's no way you can tell that story without telling some, there is that kind of thing. But for the most part, no, secrets are secrets. It's like the schoolyard. No, man, you don't tell your buddy's secret.
Well, that leads us into the next question. But do you think confessions make a relationship stronger?
Confessions for what? Like earlier, like when, hey, I didn't talk to you about this thing for a couple of days, even though I talked to my campaign manager and your daughter about it before you did.
You tell me.
Was that a confession or not? See, that's the question. If that's a confession, then the answer is yes. If that's not a confession, then the answer is well, no.
Oh, okay.
You should.
Well, yeah, I guess it was a confession of sorts.
I mean, it wasn't a sin or anything, but
well, no.
But I guess technically I wasn't being my best self, and so.
Well, you're not feeling well.
Well, yeah, but that's why we love each other, right? And that's how love is expressed. Is you don't judge people based upon their worst days, not worst days. You judge people on the grand scale, so to speak.
And you talk to me when the time is right.
Yeah, and we're not talking like huge length of time here. I talked to Brandon yesterday, 2 hours a day. And we both just came up in conversations just because, campaign manager has to know some things. And I was talking to him about things he needs to know, and my stupid ass just blurts things out. And then the same thing with Tiara. We were just talking.
Right.
And I said, yeah, I'm waiting for your mom to wake up so we can talk about this thing. Oh, what do you guys need to talk about? So
here we go. Yeah.
And so I guess, so if that's a confession, then yes, those type of confessions, even though it's not even technically a sin because, but some people would be highly offended that I had talked to my campaign manager about some about some stomach issues. Minor stomach issues, nobody.
Minor stomach issues, nothing serious.
Yeah, it's just I'm very open with the people who these type of things impact, and so I talk to them about it before it becomes serious, so they know to be aware. Because we all love each other over here. We do try to practice what we preach. We really do.
Yes, we do.
We try to love ourselves and those around us. And you do that by maintaining open and honest communication. Doesn't mean it's perfect. We're freaking humans.
I think we do really well.
Yeah. Because we don't maintain perfect as the standard. Hey, did you try the best you can? Yes.
Yes.
Well, then there you go.
There you go. Thank you. Appreciate the effort.
How can you expect more than the best you can do? Now, again, asterisk next to everything, there's massive failures, and you didn't do the best you can do.
Well, some days I'm better than others.
I didn't mean you. I meant general people.
So did I.
There's some failures are bigger than other failures. Some didn't try hard enough. Some best you can do's are not really best you can do's. But that's the difference between love and pretend. Yeah, that's the difference between love and pretend.
Are you ready for the
love
next
tries,
question?
pretend doesn't. Yes.
Okay, this is kind of an interesting one.
Oh, good Lord.
Is it fine for a partner to use the toilet with the door open? I say no.
As I get older, this is going to sound strange. I'm listening my things on that. I used to like always close and lock the door, but now I've become older with bad knees, bad back, and a bad neck. I'm going, man, I don't even necessarily. Not only do I not want to lock the door when I go into the bathroom, I'm not even entirely sure I want to close it. But we've got a little kid running around, so we kind of have to. But the little grandson running around. But if you're just you two, depends on what your business is, I suppose. There's times when you close the freaking door, right?
But there's a little bit of decorum here.
Yeah, there's things no one else needs to know about. But yeah, it becomes an issue when you get older, and I'm not even old that yet. I'm just broken. Just put it there. Yeah. But that's just me being old, broken, and overly worrisome. But no, as a general rule of thumb, show some decorum, man. Close the goddamn door. If you're that worried, lock it. Don't lock it.
Okay. What are some annoying habits of other couples that irritate you the most? And I already know one.
Well, I don't know about other couples, but I know we would irritate the crap out of other couples.
Because we're overly courteous? I don't think that's an annoying habit.
We're courteous to each other to the point where it's gross.
That's such a bad thing.
It is if you other people are watching. It's great for us. But if you were someone else, like at a park, listening to us, you're like, oh, gag me, please.
Oh, does that mean it's okay for us to dress as twins?
No, we cannot dress as twins. Okay, that's what annoys me that other couples do when we match dressing. Deliberately match dressing, not like they accidentally wore the same color shirt.
I could make us shirts.
You could make us get split up.
You wouldn't do it just one time?
Only if I get to wear a purple tux.
You and your purple tux.
I'm going to get to wear a purple tux one of these days. It might be the day you put me in a burner to fry me, but I'll get to wear a purple tux one of these days.
Well, I'll have to remember that. All right. Now, this is an interesting question. In a relationship, what would make you feel happier, sharing or sacrificing? That's just an interesting question.
What's the difference?
That's an interesting answer. Explain.
I just don't. When you talk about it, when it's in your relationship, it becomes a left pocket, right pocket argument, and so I don't understand what the difference is between sharing and sacrificing. If I have $100 in my pocket and I give you 50, am I sacrificing $50 or am I sharing $50?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
It's a mindset.
Ah.
It's the mindset is what it is. So in a sense, I would view everything as sharing. If you sacrifice, you have to lose something.
Mhm.
I don't lose anything in a relationship. I gain. I get more out of it's like a sum is greater than its parts. And
Yes.
something is worth more than the sum of its parts.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's working right. If it's not, you're losing something, then you're sacrificing. So if mindset, from the mental perspective, if you are sacrificing, you're losing something and you're doing something wrong in your relationship. You're viewing it wrong. Quite frankly, I don't even like the thing of sharing because even that involves that you're giving something rather than something just being. But I suppose it's hard for individuals when we do things as individuals to not view as something that's currently in my possession is not mine, is art, is ours. You still struggle with that sometimes.
I do sometimes. Some things are mine.
Yeah. Yeah, but some things are, but even things that we view as communal, like say the communal bank account,
Yeah.
communal money. We don't view money as or yours or mine. It's ours.
Yeah.
But even still,
But we manage it separately.
kinda,
Kinda.
not really. It appears to be managed separately, but it's really not. If you actually took a step back and looked at how we actually manage it, it's not managed separately
Well,
at
the
all.
budget isn't. No, we manage the budget together.
Yeah, we don't manage our every. Those are left pocket, right pocket arguments. We all to say all comes from the same pair of
It all
pants.
comes from yes,
Yes, it's all treated as the same pair of pants.
yes.
Yeah, we only have the one pair of pants. You may control one pocket, I may control another, but it's all the same pair of
Pair
pants.
of pants.
And
Yeah.
if one pocket needs more money, we just move it.
Yeah.
Well, if we have it, because
If we have Okay, would you lie to make me happy, and where would you draw the line? I would be disappointed because eventually lies are found out.
Well, one, you're gonna have to define lies, but two, lies never make you happy.
No.
Now, you may pick and choose. What is it? Red? We're back to red green. Pick and choose the truth you tell at the time. Now, again, at the time, because you're always going to have to. If there's something you're not telling, there's a reason you're not saying it, which means it has to be said at some point. It's just at that moment is not the time, right? There are moments in time that this is really not a good time to dump on somebody else's head right now, right? You're just going to have to wait 48 hours because they're not in a good space, or they've got too much on them. They're freaking taking a SAT tomorrow, and you really don't want to stress them out on something else right now, right? The world ain't going to end if I wait 24 hours to tell them this, right? That kind of thing. That's not lying. That's just being conscious of love. That's actually loving somebody, delaying. But the key is you actually have to follow through and have the conversation in order for it not to be a lie. If you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to have the conversation later, and then deliberately never have later, then you just lied. You didn't just lie to the person, you lied to yourself, and that's even worse. Because now you can't even be honest with yourself, and that's corrosive. That'll lead everybody a lie. You can't be honest with the world if you can't be honest with yourself. It's a hard lesson to learn, trust me, I know.
I don't feel the need to lie. I can be my authentic self, and everything's going to be fine. Now, sometimes it doesn't feel like it's going to be fine. Sometimes I feel like, okay, this is going to be it. He's just going to walk away. This is going to...
Well, we have 15 minutes. Do you want to talk about the Doom Brain thing?
Sure.
I
have... Well, I have...
do you want me to talk?
Go ahead.
I can do the setup for you?
You can probably...
But I can do it quicker.
Yeah.
I am versed in TV talk and talking on TV. Christina is bipolar, and so she has what we call doom brain. Is her initial reaction? Please correct me if I'm wrong. The initial reaction to almost everything is the world is going to freaking end, essentially, right? The worst
the worst possible scenario is going to happen out of this. This is just going to fall to shit.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be bad. The worst possible outcome is stares me in the face.
It doesn't. You cooking toast, it's going to get burnt to the crisp on your bad days, right?
On my bad days.
On the bad days.
On my bad days, yes.
The toast, you're not just going to burn toast to the crisp, it's going to burn the whole freaking house.
It's going to burn the whole freaking house down. I have to stand in the kitchen and while my toast toasts. I got to watch it.
Yeah, and so
I put out my cigarettes. I got to check him every time. Is it all the way put out? Because I'm going to burn down the house. Somebody comes in the house. Oh my God, somebody's here. Something's going to.
I've actually forgot where we started. Where was the point of the whole conversation? There was a reason we were talking about your doom brain.
Did I say, where would you lie to make me happy?
I completely forgot what the hell we were talking about. Why the conversation about your doom. There was a reason we brought up doom brain.
There was a reason we brought up doom brain.
And I don't remember why. God, we shouldn't smoke a joint halfway through these things.
We shouldn't.
Oh, well, no, we were talking about why it's easier to not lie.
Easier to not lie.
Why it's easier not lying because for you, if you lie, it's you have that whole doom brain kicks in because you have to remember lies and
oh my God,
and it becomes all that, and because we don't have any reason to lie.
I don't have any reason to lie. I would be lying to you. That would be forsaking a foundation of our relationship, which is honesty. So now I have put you off for a while. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, that's not the same thing. Again, we just kind of talking. I can't.
No one wants to ask. No one asked you. That's a good one.
There's times I can't discuss that right now.
Yes.
Or you know what? I really don't want to talk about that particular issue.
Right.
And here's why. We always say if we do that, we always say why. I can't talk about that right now.
I'm still working on it. I'm still working on that one.
But it's simply, in terms of an actual genuine lie, there's no point.
There's no point.
There's no point. And that's kind of what I hate talking politics here, but that's what I'm trying to do in my campaign as well, is I'm being brutally honest in my campaign as a politician. And I don't think people know what to do about it. To be honest, I don't think people know what to do.
Well, it's not the norm, babe.
Yeah, but it's that brutal honesty it's the brutal transparency. Now in politics it's brutal, but in a relationship it's actually very loving.
Yes.
It's because
it's easy to do. I even though I have my doom brain, I would rather go through that uncomfortable moment, work through it, and just say, shut up for a minute. We'll just see what he has to say. He's always been reasonable in the past. Let's see what he does this time.
Yeah, you have that logic. The logic, that's what we were getting at, talking about the doom brain. You got the doom brain, but it's got this other side that's the logic's part of that. And so if you constantly feed the logic part, then it's strong enough to not be overpowered by the doom brain.
Yeah.
And so because we have a long history of continually feeding the logic, the honest part, when you have a difficult situation to come up with, then you were able to go, no, listen, Mr. Doombrain, or Mrs. Doombrain, or something. Who knows? It's bipolar, Mrs. Doombrain. You never know. Who knows? Maybe it's two of them in there. Who the hell knows? Who the hell cares?
Oh God!
Sorry.
I'll be thinking about that.
All right, listen, Doom Brain over here. You're wrong often. You have a nice little habit of being completely wrong. That occasion where you're right doesn't justify the 99% of the time you're wrong. Right? That was 4 times in my life, or you've had a kind of a tragic life. The dozen times in your life where your Doom Brain has been right doesn't count the thousands and thousands of times where it's been wrong. And because we have had a long history, 10 years now almost, of brutal honesty, almost, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
It works. Because we don't have to feed that. I had the same thing with my anxiety disorder, right? That's the reason it took me so long to talk to you, because it's the most dangerous conversation to have. I can talk to Brandon. He's my campaign manager. He's my friend. But he can't fundamentally hurt me. Tiara, I love her to death. She's like my daughter. I don't feel any different, but she can't hurt me. You rejecting me can hurt me. Now, there's no logic. The logic part of me knows she's not going to reject me. That's stupid. Right? But when I'm pinging high on anxiety anyway, just like the Doom Brain, when your Doom Brain's running high on anxiety anyway, you're by definition not processing that type of information properly. You can process the rest of your data information properly, right? You can process the news, you can strategize politically, you can still do all that. But that personal relationship processing becomes the thing that becomes screwy. Because that's the thing that can hurt you. I just lose the election. What the hell? That was going to happen anyway, right? There's no danger there. The danger in that is failing the team. It's not losing the election. There's a difference. Losing an election is happening. Half the people lose. Well, more than half the people lose. But it's a 2-person election. One of us is going to lose. So at best, it's 50-50 shot. And we know that it's sure in the hell isn't 50-50 shot. We've got no money, no name recognition, and no party to speak of behind us. Well, we do have a party behind us, but they're not very good at this. I love them to death, man. But we're honest here, right? We're honest because we love them. Love them to death. All right, we got like 5 minutes. What else you got?
Here's an interesting. How do you vent out your frustrations in a relationship? Isn't that a loaded question? I don't. Do we vent?
I don't think we let it build to frustration.
We don't.
We used to let it build to frustration, but I don't
yes,
think
we did. We did.
The only time it comes out as frustration is those rare occasions when we're both having really bad days at the same time. We can handle if one of us is having a bad day. There's no problem. Right. The only time we ever have any problems is when both of us are having a bad day. When I'm having a high anxiety day, and when you're having a bad Doom Brain day or a depression day or whatever that is. That's when we have problems. But that's only because we're actually, again, it goes back to that brutal honesty thing. That builds a strong foundation. And so we don't have the same struggles that people who haven't taken the time to build a strong foundation.
It also helps that I can look at you in the eye and say, "You're really pissing me off." And you laugh at me.
Well, that's because it's not true at the moment.
It's not true at the moment. And I know it's okay. I can have that feeling. I can be mad. Sometimes we're going to be mad at each other.
I'm surprised you're not mad at me more often, to be honest. Sometimes I'm kind of amazed. Well, I'm fundamentally 12. I'd be pissed if I was a mature adult. So,
well, the tie tossing was really borderline. You were going to know it was not hilarious. You went on too far, throwing a wad of ties at me.
It was ties. It was hilarious.
It went on too long.
Okay, it was funny to me.
Yes, I know you had a good time. And it wasn't putting them away. They were your problem.
Well, that's the only reason I kept throwing them. If you would have just, I would have picked them up. And that's why. So then you kept going, oh, I'm going to put away. So I'm going, God damn it. I'm going to throw them again. Son of a bitch. I don't even think I kept them. I think I just threw them away.
Yes, I know.
Why can I don't wear ties? I've got one tie and it's a zipper tie. So I need a real freaking tie.
Mm.
Actually, I need another one. I got to go.
Do we have time for one more question?
We can do however many more questions we want.
If we went to, well, I know this one because we discussed this. If we went to a store to buy a couch and both of us like different couches, would you still go with my couch?
What?
Okay, I got a loaded one. We take a third couch. I got a loaded one for you.
Yeah, we wouldn't pick a couch. If we couldn't
This is not a loaded. This is not an actual question. This is like I can't believe
you're going to ask us at the end of the show. Okay.
I can't believe they put this on here.
Okay.
You're actually going to ask somebody this.
Okay. So this is actually, you're not actually technically asking the question. You're asking my opinion on why the fuck did you put this in a question. Okay.
Right.
All right.
In an argument, whose side would you take, me or your mother? Why? Why is that question on this? Why would you ask somebody to put them in that kind of position?
Well, doesn't the question of who's actually correct, it may have anything to do with it?
That's what Martin said. I'm coming from an emotional point of view. Oh my God, you're going to ask
you might be arguing over a flat earth or something, and sorry, dear, if you think the earth is flat, I'm going with Mom. Just saying. Why
would you ask to be chosen between you or your mother? Oh my God,
that's not a like I said, that's a combat question.
That's a combat question. That's what that is.
Question. Relationship combat quiz. That's about what it is.
Well, we have many more. We have we went through about half of them.
All right, we'll go through some more next week.
All right.
The combat quiz. Okay. So I didn't create the banner today to put. We didn't go through our checklist.
Oh no!
I did put up the love line, but you know what I didn't put up was the late night love. I'll just go to Facebook and late night love, or hit the like and subscribe button if you guys want to follow this and see more. If you guys want us to do more of these,
Woo.
Or comment on us and tell us, what you want to talk about, what you'd like us here to discuss.
Yes, please.
In the future, because. We always know these early YouTube videos, you're always kind of talking along and learning how to do things. I was actually watching YouTube videos and how to crush it and all this, how to start a YouTube channel and all this kind of thing. And it's like, start before you're ready. All right, sweet. We know we've got step 1 done. We accomplished the step. We did the first thing. The first thing you're supposed to do, we already did. We started before we were ready. So now we got to figure out what step 2 is. I didn't go any farther than that. I ain't got time, man. I'm trying to run a campaign. I'm trying to change the world over here. If I can't do it in politics, I'm going to do it through love. So for all of you, thank you for joining us. Catch us at 11:30 p.m. on Facebook or YouTube. You can catch us on the podcast networks, Late Night Love on the podcast networks. I believe we've actually on iTunes now and Spotify and all the various. You can go to Anchor FM/Late Night Love, I believe is the address. You can just search it for the podcast, leave us a message. I should have put all that in there. You allowed us to forget the banner, Mr. Rector. And I believe that we are out of here. So please remember to love everybody, and hit the like, subscribe, send us comments, join the Facebook page if you want to have some more commentary about love. Good night, and love everybody.